Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. We have a wild assortment of facts for you today, so hang on to your seat as here we go. Here are 30 random facts to make your day. Alfred Hitchcock anonymously purchased the rights to Robert Bloch's novel Psycho and then quietly bought up as many copies of the freshly published book as possible to avoid anyone reading the novel and spoiling the ending of the movie. You can find all manner of canned vegetables, but not broccoli. The temperatures required for canning turns it into an unappetizing mush. The lens of your eye casts everything it sees upside down onto your retina. Only when the image reaches the visual processing center of your brain is it inverted. The system bus, a component of computer hardware architecture, derives its name from the Latin word omnibus, meaning for all, a reference to how a bus shuttles all the data between the components it links. The scientific term for your fifth and typically smallest digit on both your feet and hands is minimus. Think it's easy to change a light bulb? Try living in Victoria, Australia. Up until 1998, you were not allowed to legally change a light bulb without the help of a trained electrician. The Library Hotel in New York City is arranged based on the Dewey Decimal System. Its 10 guest floors correspond to 10 of the major categories in the Dewey Decimal System, and its 60 rooms are outfitted with books, artifacts, and artwork related to subcategories thereof. The popular candy bar Snickers was created by Frank and Ethel Mars of the Mars candy family and named after their favorite horse. A group of otters in the water is called a raft. The term is no doubt derived from the appearance of large groups of sleeping otters. They link their arms together while slumbering, creating a raft-like structure out of their bodies. Hanlon's razor is an eponymous adage named after Robert J. Hanlon that states, "Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity." Donkeys apparently won't sink in quicksand. We still wouldn't recommend you try it. Trust us on this one. Researchers at McEwen University discovered that people who frequently play video games were significantly more likely to have a lucid dream. The iconic chung chung double beat sound effect in the long-running police procedural Law and Order was accidentally created when a microphone bounced on a piano and is described by composer Mike Post as a happy accident. Aquaponics is a farming method that combines plant and fish farming in a symbiotic setup where the plants are watered using nutrient-rich wastewater from their companion fish tanks, and the cleansed water is then recirculated back to the fish tanks. The Canadian Postal Service was established in 1763 by Ben Franklin, who opened the first official Canadian post office in Halifax, Nova Scotia, as Deputy Postmaster General of the British colonies. The Royal New Zealand Air Force has an interesting logo to say the least. Why? Their main insignia is the kiwi, which, funnily enough, is a flightless bird. Roughly 1 out of 600 people have rant aquitus, or horseshoe kidney, a congenital disorder wherein their two kidneys are fused into one large U-shaped kidney. The disorder is rarely discovered as it is typically asymptomatic. Patients usually find out they have it as a result of examination for another issue. European starlings were introduced to North America in the early 1890s by Eugene Shufflin, a member of the American Acclimatization Society, who believed that every bird from Shakespeare's plays should be introduced to North America. The 200 million plus starlings now residing in North America are descended from the original 100 birds he released in 2 batches in New York City. An approximately 14,200-year-old gravesite uncovered in Germany in 1914 is the earliest evidence we have of the domestication of dogs. The site had 2 humans along with the body of a puppy. Researchers not only identified the puppy skeleton as that of a domesticated canine species, but evidence at the site suggested it had received direct care from humans. Elephants cannot jump. They weigh so much that it is physically impossible for them to lift their bodies off the ground, and in fact, they always have at least 1 foot on the ground at all times. Up until the mid-1980s, it was illegal for anyone in Iceland to have a pet dog. Thankfully, this law has been long since repealed. The symbol for the band Queen, a large crest-like logo, was designed by Queen frontman Freddie Mercury and includes references to the zodiac symbols of all four members. The two lions, Leo, on the sides for John Deacon and Roger Taylor, the two fairies, Virgo, for Freddie Mercury, and the crab, Cancer, for Brian May. Despite what you might have been taught in school, there are only four Great Lakes, hydrologically speaking, not five. Lake Michigan and Lake Huron are not distinct bodies of water, but one massive body of water connected by the Straits of Mackinac. The oldest plant scientists have brought back to life is a 32,000-year-old strain of the flower Selenstenophilia. They recovered the seeds from a prehistoric cache left behind by a squirrel. The Super Bowl trophy is officially called the Vince Lombardi Trophy in honor of NFL coach Vince Lombardi, who led the Green Bay Packers to victories in the first two Super Bowls. There was a rumor that Finland once banned Donald Duck comics from sale due to the fact he doesn't wear pants or trousers. While the rumor is not true, it does make for an amusing tale. Billy Hippopotamus, or William Johnson Hippopotamus, was a pygmy hippo given to US President Calvin Coolidge in 1927 by none other than tire titan Harvey Firestone. Billy was housed in the National Zoo in Washington, D.C., and is the common ancestor of nearly all pygmy hippos in American zoos. Not only did astronomer William Herschel discover Uranus, two of its moons, and two of Saturn's moons, he was also a talented musician who composed 24 symphonies, many concertos, and even some church music. The voice actors behind Mickey and Minnie Mouse through the 1980s, 1990s, and most of the 2000s were real-life husband and wife Wayne Allwine and Russi Taylor. It's thought that around 23% of all photocopier faults worldwide occur due to people sitting on them. Let's not wonder too carefully why that might be. There we have it, 30 wild and fascinating facts to make your day. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating content. Until next time, stay curious and you have a great day.